Pop me in here. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to Keep On Growing. And I'm gonna tonight's kind of the first dry run. I want to thank everyone who came in last night and helped me set everything up, got everything running. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and chit chat for a little bit. We've got a couple of guests we're gonna pop up here, and I'm trying to figure out how to use the giveaway tool. I haven't done this in a year, but we're gonna give some stuff away too, and all kinds of stuff. So let's see who's here already. Eden Garden Towers, love you, brother. Hey, love you too. That's Keely. That's my wife. Hey, Keely, JoJo, how are you doing? I'm ready. Andrea, how are you? Juliana, how are you? All right. Let's see. I'm going to pop both of our guests up here and we'll just talk about the topic together. Let's see. I've got Sam waiting here. Hey, Sam.
Hey.
And I've got Tracy is muted. Let's just pop her in here and see if she pops in or not. But Tracy, if you're there, holler and say yes. I'll pull you out of there for a second. If you get here, just wave at me and I'll pop you back in here. Tracy, is that you, Tracy, in the chat? There you go. Okay, you're here too. Cool. Oh, did you freeze? Yay, I finally get to join the chat. Hey, Leon, how are you doing? All right, let me go ahead and let you guys introduce yourself. Everybody knows who I am, and maybe like Sam, you can go first and just let us know who you are. If you're a creator, do you have a channel, or are you just a gardener? And if you're into like hydroponics or traditional gardening, and I see Tracy, some of the stuff there behind you.
Yeah, so I am Sam. I do not have a channel. And I am into gardening. So we live in Pawleys Island, South Carolina, and we're in the burbs, and we turned basically our entire backyard into a food forest.
Cool.
So we have in-ground, we have raised garden, we have the garden towers, and then we just did a pond with the living wall. So we all that. And then I also have hydroponics in my house.
Oh, cool. A little of everything.
Yes, I got everything going on.
Awesome. Awesome. How about you, Tracy? Let's see. I think you're kind of freezing. Your Wi-Fi must not be that good. Can you hear her, Sam?
I cannot hear her.
Yeah, I can't hear you either. What you can do is try to pop out and then click that link again and go through the settings. And they've got a little test for your microphone and everything on there. If you want to go ahead and give that a try. Cool. And then, so when we're waiting on Tracy, Sam, you said, so you've got the towers?
I do. So I have an iHarvest tower in my sunroom. I've had for about a year and a half. And I mostly do lettuces because we're in the South, like you can't really do cold weather plants outside.
Right.
You know, kind of like the end of May, I'm done. So I decided, actually I got into growing microgreens because I couldn't grow the lettuces, and then found an iHarvest that started doing the cooler weather crops indoors over the summer, and then in the winter I do mostly like micro tomatoes and beans and bush beans and things like that in the winter.
Oh, cool.
I do a lot of herbs outside. So a lot of herbs outside either.
Yeah. We love just having herbs just ready to go. The one thing, I mean, before we used to just buy a bunch of stuff and throw it in the fridge, and you use like a little bit of it for one recipe, and then
Yeah.
the rest was like gone. And now, especially like the living wall, but we've got the oregano. I just had the video come out, it was just like going wild. But you don't need to harvest the whole thing like lettuce. You have to keep harvesting it in that, and like oregano, you let it go, and you can trim it down a little bit. And then whenever we need it, we just go out and get some, and it's always fresh.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I've got all kinds of herbs outside, and I tincture my herbs, and then I also make soap. So I'm like, I do all of that stuff.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Hey, Tracy, can we hear you now?
Can you hear me now? I hope so.
Oh yeah, lots better, and the
All right.
picture's a lot better too.
I switched over to my cell phone. We'll see if this works a little bit better.
Okay. Hey, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you're gardening, what you're growing?
Absolutely. I am living in northwestern Pennsylvania. My husband and I grow mushrooms and microgreens. We do completely hydroponics, crack key method, no substrate. Um, we're fairly new in business professionally. I don't have a channel. We just launched some social media presence back in February. So we are
Hmm.
growing our business and growing hydroponics. I do as much outside as I can. We're in a lot of construction right now. So I did some bucket towers this year. The heat has been brutal. So
Yeah,
it's it's not Florida heat, but it's hot. We get high 90s. Um, my tanks just got real hot in the sun. So we're growing mostly indoors.
yeah, yeah. It's just really brutal right now on that too. But that's pretty cool. If you're just starting social media, so just lean into that. If you got any questions about that, just holler at me. You're in the little private group now in that too. Just
Yes, sir.
you got questions, just ask. And um,
Thank you.
that's like one of the best ways to like if you're running a business, it's just like free advertising. Like 10 years ago, it costs a lot of money to just get your name out anywhere. And
Definitely.
yeah, so it's cool. You just put out content, and then one video does good, then you can always like run an ad on that and target like people in your area, if you're selling in your area.
Yeah, we
So
live in a really rural area. This is Potter County, Pennsylvania. Um, Most people don't even have the internet, let alone know how to use it. And the nature of our product is so fresh that it's a lot of grassroots marketing. So learning how to monetize my social media presence is something that's important to me, branching out into other products that maybe dried goods or things like that.
yeah, yeah, that'd be kind of tough being rural. We came 7 years ago. We were farmhands, and we were on like a 300-acre farm, but we were out in the middle of nowhere. And
Yeah,
where they ran the internet, we were literally the last people in line when it goes running out. So we had like half a meg of upload speed or download speed, and
yeah,
nothing. I'd have to put a video up on YouTube and like hit a 2 minute video or something and go to bed and wake up the next morning and see if it actually uploaded. So
right,
yeah, I feel
right.
your pain with that. It's kind of tough. Now we're in a city and they just put fiber in here, and it's awesome. It's like 1,000. It's like a gig up and down, both ways. So it
Yeah.
doesn't even compare to what we had before.
Yeah, we have to go about 3 or 4 hours into the city to get 5G anything. That doesn't even exist for us.
Oh man, yeah. Well, that's cool. Let's see. So, and let's see. You said you've got a living wall, Sam. You put one of those up.
My husband, actually, I watched your channel and I saw your
Mhm.
list. And so I said to my husband, we got to do one of these. And so he went out and bought a 300-gallon pond and plopped have it on our concrete patio because we didn't want to sink it. So he built me a surround over that, and we plopped some goldfish in there. So we're not even using any nutrients. We're totally doing almost an aquaponic.
I love that. I'm obsessed with aquaponics.
Are
Yeah.
you?
So not doing the obviously you don't want to eat a goldfish. I mean, you probably could, but I'm not.
Sure.
And so we're just literally using them so that they feed everything that's on the wall. And I mean, I do a lot of microgreens on there, but I'm also propagating a lot of my hydrangeas, and
Yeah.
I've got all kinds of stuff in there that I'm propagating for the fall. I'll pot it up and stick it in the greenhouse.
Nice.
It's cool. That's awesome. Keely just stuck her goldfish out there too. She had a couple in the house and they were getting too big. So we just got one set up, but I'm giving that a try. If you're doing like more natural, and that's what we're kind of doing. But if you really get into it and get like a lot of fish, there's a whole lot that you have to like watch nitrite levels and nitrates, and if it gets off a little bit, like all the fish can like die overnight. Or so they're like getting sick, and it's one thing if you like lose all your plants, but people don't realize that they think you just throw fish in there, but you got to feed the fish to grow the plants. And some people grow duckweed that the plants eat, but there's only so much energy goes around in the loop. And if you're ending up taking fish out, you do have to have inputs to put in. But if you're not watching levels, like if you guys watch my channel, you know that I don't monitor and measure pH and all of that. So if you've got like a living animal in there, you've kind of got to monitor that, because those levels, they, especially like the carp and goldfish and that, they poop a lot, and the nitrite levels can get off like really fast, and so from what I understand, and Keely kind of takes care of all of that. And we had a little pond before, and we just put up a filter, and I had a little UV light in it. But as far as like doing it, aquaponics, it's a little bit more detailed. So, you got to kind of do your homework, and because it'd be kind of bad to walk out and have like 24 fish like floating around or something. And, so yeah, it's a little bit of homework. And that's why people are always asking me, because they want organic or natural fertilizers and that, and they're just like, just throw some fish in there. And without explaining like I just did, it's kind of hard to say, but it's a little more involved than just throwing fish in there. So, it's a little bit to look into, but if you can get it going, it's awesome. I saw this guy on TikTok, Dude Grows Fish, I think, or something, and he was explaining it, and they were setting up tanks in elementary schools and that, and then the produce they were growing, the kids were using for their lunch and everything. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a guy in Australia I follow that does
The rain barrel guy. Does he
yeah,
do the blue rain barrel? The Australian guy. I've seen him.
yeah, and he does it in those big tanks.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Rob's Aquaponics, I think he is. I'm just not looking to grow a bunch of fish. I just fish enough to like feed the plant and make the pond look pretty, and keep the mosquito population at bay.
Yeah. 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 We're just growing loads of frogs right now.
We have not gotten any frogs. I saw your video earlier and I was like, get frogs. I have no frogs in my pond.
Really? Yeah. And my wife just took me out there just before I started the show. She and where we have the other pond where her goldfish are at, we have one of those totes with the yellow top, and there was about an inch of rainwater. The frogs got up there, laid eggs. We didn't see, and they like hatched already. There's like 1,000 tadpoles in there too. That's so dump them over there. Yeah, but yeah, it gets a little loud at night. They're all hopping around and making noise, but it's pretty cool. Hey, Rick, how are you? And Patricia saying, hey, Dan, Troy, if you ever want to get in and come up and chat with us, let me know. I made a couple of posts. I think I did in the group. I don't know if you saw it, and get in on our private group where I dropped the links for this. But Troy's pretty cool. I like to have him come up and talk one night too. Rick, and that's my wife. I grow mint, water, spinach, sweet potatoes. Yeah, she just tosses the stuff in the pond. It was pretty cool, and the little tadpoles are eating it. But I was talking about like the importance of like growing your own food and everything. And I see, Sam, you're growing it. This is just for y'all to eat and everything. And Tracy, you said you're starting like a business and actually growing to sell in addition to eating that too.
So mushrooms primarily got away from us pretty quickly, and we had a surplus of mushrooms. So you start giving them to your friends, and you start giving them to your family, and then it's like there's people asking for them. So you start to make that progression. And we were growing in a Martha tent until that collapsed. And we moved into a 4x4 grow tent that's a very climate controlled. So we're growing food mostly for us. And then you start to have that surplus occur. And and we found a business opportunity. We're not making money on it because they cost more money than they're making at the moment.
Right.
But it's a process, and we're enjoying it. It's changing the way we feel. My husband has some GI issues. I have
Mm-hmm.
some neurological issues. So, excuse me, lion's mane mushroom particularly completely changed both of us. His GI issues, it did a lot of gut strengthening, and also some neurological issues that I was having, just the brain fog and growing our own food and getting rid of those who knows what chemicals has changed the way that we feel almost immediately. And sharing
Yeah.
that with others is feels really good.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Lion's mane. Have you cooked it? Like I've seen someone. I'm gonna try and get up on the north side of town over here. There's some
Get you
guy grew
some.
mushrooms, but have you cooked it where you like squash it into like a steak and like sauteed it or something like that?
Yep.
You
Yep.
do?
It's delicious. It has a very seafood flavor, so like a scallop. My husband
Okay.
compares it to, or like a lump crab meat. But when you cook it like that, like a steak, it just gets that texture and flavor, and it's delicious.
Oh, I got to give it a try.
We
I've
have friends that make crab cakes out of them. So good. It's so good.
awesome.
It's brain
Cool.
food. It's doing things for your brain that we didn't even think were possible. We didn't think it was possible to form new neural connections. We didn't think it was possible once your brain started to age, right? You're just getting old. And then that's you just have an old brain now. That's not the case. And these foods, microgreens, especially mushrooms too, are changing people's health the more that we adapt to them.
Cool. I might have to eat it once a week.
Get them in your body, get them in your system. And the fresher the better, but there's good reliable dried products out there too. Start growing your own. Get a grow bag. These things are very very user friendly. It's a fungus. It wants to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of companies right now selling these home grow bags that you just kind of cut open and watch it grow.
Now, how sterile does it have to be?
The grow process does
Mm-hmm.
not have to be sterile. We're doing everything in house. So we're starting with a liquid culture. We're putting that through to a grain, colonizing that grain, and then adding it to our substrate. So there's a multiple step process that needs to be sterile. Once that mycelium is alive, it
Mm-hmm.
acts as its own immune system. So it
Oh,
can
cool.
fight that bacteria. But before that happens, it needs to be the more sterile process you can have, the better. We work in front of ideally a laminar flow hood. A still air box works well too. Copious
Mm-hmm.
amounts of rubbing alcohol.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
the
we
fruiting
had
process is
grown.
not sterile.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we
Yeah.
tried to grow oyster mushrooms years ago.
Yep.
So that was when we were out on the farm, out on the ranch.
Yep.
So we're in the middle of nowhere, and it was just they would like bloom one morning, and if we didn't get to them, the like thousands of beetles would like be on top of them right away.
They're a
So
hot commodity. They
uh,
taste delicious, and the animals know it too. We have
yeah,
to really watch for mice and safeguard for things like that in our grow space because they just let off. They're very pungent. We have exhaust going outside, so it just draws in animals.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
well,
so
cool. If you pop on like one other night or whatever, it'd be cool to bring on some of the stuff you've got and kind of show us.
I'd love to do that. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
mushrooms are really fun, and it's all about how deep you want to dive down that rabbit hole of it, like anything else. But go get one of those grow bags, and when you're done fruiting it on your counter, they can be put out in your garden. Just because the grow medium that you're fruiting that you bought is gone, and
Mhm.
and the mushroom stops fruiting, that mycelium's still alive. Go put it outside. Go put it in your garden. You'll get oysters.
Oh,
You'll
cool.
get lion's mane.
Well, that's cool. Well, that'd be cool if we could just grow that because it's actually kind of expensive over here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
expensive everywhere, and that's a big reason why we grow it because we couldn't afford to keep buying the amount that we wanted to eat of it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into it. Keely was asking me for like years, but I always just kind of put it off because we got so much other stuff going on.
It doesn't take up much space or attention. It's a tiny little fungus and it grows itself. Just get a couple grow bags and try it.
Okay, cool. Sam, what's how do you like the living wall?
I like it. I like it a lot. I like that right now I'm just, like I said, doing either the microgreens. I just threw some lettuce seeds in there the other day. Which of course they have not germinated. I like that I'm using it to propagate different things, letting them root out. But really I like the calm of it. Like now I've got like this the waterfall sound, and that it's just, when you go outside, it's really calming to listen to that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but just being able to, get out there and get my microgreens out there and just picking what I need, my herbs that I need. I mean, I'm wandering around my garden every day anyway. So, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
primarily grow for us. Like, I mean, I share with neighbors and I share with friends, but primarily it's just growing.
Yeah. Now that's cool. And like you said, just having it all the time. What I like, another thing about growing your own food, especially like the microgreens, you can get a lot of variety that you can't get anywhere else. In a normal store, at least where I live, some other places might have farmers market and that grow some of them, but if any of the stores have any type of microgreens or baby greens and that, it's always just kale, spinach, broccoli, alfalfa, just the basics. But like you can grow, like I grew basil, and it was a cinnamon flavored basil, and it was pretty cool and something different. And that's like, you can't go anywhere and just find it in the store. And some of the other, varieties like baby pak choy, you can go and find bok choy and stuff in the store like full grown, but you can't get little tiny microgreens of it. Even if they're selling microgreens where I live,
Right.
they only have like 3 or 4 like varieties. So you can get all these different things. Like radish grows really easy. Just about anybody who's here can grow radish, but that's something you can't just go up to Publix and go pick up. So you get a lot more variety of stuff, and I just get tired of all the normal things that we go in the store and just get the same old, same old, same old. And even if it's like a chipotle or something that we never had before, like years ago, now everybody's got like chipotles and that, but it's still like the basic same staple of stuff. But some of the things that we grow, if you let somebody taste it, they've never tried it before, or it's something
Yeah.
it's totally different. Even like the pea shoots, they're easy to grow, but we can't just go out anywhere and just pick it up whenever we want. So it's just cool to just always have them on hand, growing all the time.
I would say pea shoots are one of my favorites.
For sure.
Not have much luck with sunflowers. And maybe it's just my climate, that they just get that mold layer over
They want to get moldy really bad.
Yeah, and so I'm like, well, I guess I'm not doing sunflowers. So
My little hydrogen peroxide spray saves me in that germination phase. If I can stop it in germination, that's where it lives and that's where it thrives. If you can't stop it in germination, those seeds are trash.
yeah,
But a little bit of hydrogen peroxide, and that 3% hydrogen peroxide is already diluted. So as long as you're not using a medical grade, it's going to decompose into hydrogen or into water and oxygen. So perfectly safe for you to use in that germination phase. I believe it's controversial, I suppose,
yeah,
but a little hydrogen peroxide goes a long way in that sunflower germination phase to stop mold.
yeah, because they're so hard to get started.
They are, I agree. But it's once you figure it out, it's well worth it. They're a high volume microgreen, like they're bigger, right? So they're taking up
Mhm.
more space on the plate and in the bowl, and they're delicious.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else like it.
No,
You
it's like a
it's
carrot
hard
and a
to,
pea taste kind of together. I think those
yeah,
sunflowers are delicious.
yeah, something like that. And it's the one thing I like is just that it's got a little different texture too. It's a little crunchy, like
And you were doing cantaloupe too. I saw you did some cantaloupe. Is that right?
yeah, we've got some growing right now because
Yeah.
we're eating cantaloupe like when it's in season here, like almost every other day we're like getting one. So we've still got seeds, and those are pretty cool. You taste them. They're not sweet like a cantaloupe. They got that cantaloupe flavor. And like Josh from uh, Bagel Finagle, who was on a Josh Shaver, he said that be careful which one you get to. You might want to try like a
Oh,
smaller
that's
bag first because they had got some and they were like really bitter or something. They were like almost inedible. So if you're just getting it from the grocery store too, it's kind of hit and miss, but
okay.
it's free. So, you know, it's kind of cool. It's something you wouldn't eat like the whole thing. You wouldn't eat like a whole bowl, but there's flavor. So you drop it in. So when you're eating something, especially someone who's not, familiar with it, they get a little something like if they get a radish microgreen, a little taste of it, there's that bite of radish, but
Yeah.
they didn't really see any, crunchy bits of radish. So,
Right.
it's kind of like that too. It's something, it's fun, and when you do something and it's free, that's just like when you save the little bottom of the lettuce and stick it in the windowsill and you might grow like 3 leaves, but you're like, I got something free.
I grew.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. I see y'all going by there and everybody stopping and say hello. So, hey, thank y'all for coming in. I'm going to have a little drawing for some seeds. I decided I'm going to give away just some microgreen seeds there. I'm going to give away like maybe 4 packs. Maybe pak choi and radish. And I've got some, these are from Greener Harvest Seeds. That's his radish one. So I'll throw that in it and probably 3 more. I've got some more of a seed. So I'll go ahead and do a little sample pack and send that out. And we'll do that in just a minute. And whoever wins, make sure that you stay on me if you don't see it there. I got a couple of people. I'm just so busy with like orders and processing orders and shipping stuff out. And most of the stuff that comes through like Amazon, Etsy, all the other stuff, it comes in, it's got a shipping label and, I just hit print, put it on there. But then when I do a giveaway, I have to go and physically put in, I have to go and try and find them through email, get their address, print it out. And sometimes it slips my mind. And there's been a couple of people, it was like a month later, I was going through my stuff and I was like, where's my, shipping label to them or whatever. And so I contact them and I've had a couple of people like, no, I didn't get it yet. I just figured you got busy. But so if y'all win anything, stay on top of me. And it's just, I didn't do it on purpose. I just forget. And also the post office lost a couple of packages over the years. And, so it sometimes things just disappear. And if I mail so much stuff out, I don't go back and check everything that says, see if it says delivered. And so I miss things once in a while. So go and stay on top of me. I don't want to say that I, give away something and somebody's sitting there, like a year later going, that jerk didn't mail me anything. Hey, let's see who else is in here. Virginia, Dan. Oh, Dan, he did a living wall too, and he tried to use perlite instead of the hydroton. Because you can get a big bag of perlite, and but it clogged up the bags. So anybody that's kind of thinking about that, Dan just wanted to share that with everyone that it's not too good with the felt bags. You got to, it's got to drip down through it, and then perlite, like the small bits, break down to like sand and even smaller, so the particles kind of fill in, and all of a sudden it starts to get clogged up. Whereas the clay pebbles and hydroton, they stay kind of big. So it works in the trays when we have the self-watering adapter. If you put a little perlite on the top of that, some of the smaller seeds, and people were saying they were falling through to the bottom and losing some in the water. So you can always put a little bit of perlite on top of the hydroton, and that kind of makes it flat like sand, and then you can sprinkle your seeds on. And it's just when you go to clean it out, it's a little more involved than just washing out a bunch of hydroton. Then you got a bunch of little perlite in there you're trying to separate. But I just put it all together because it's going to go back into like one of my dishes and not into the living wall.
Right.
and I might be setting up another living wall. I took mine down, and people were asking, "Oh, why are you putting it down, taking it down?" But I set it up. My first one was an experiment, and I already had the structure built, and it wasn't facing the right way, and it's just only the top row will grow. Everything will grow kind of good to baby green stage, and then the top ones would start growing bigger and shade the bottom ones, and the sun was coming up across the top of it and not over the front like during the winter time. So
Would you put the
I've
next
got
one in
another
more
one.
sun? Do you think that that black fabric is going to get, how are you going to control the temperature on that black fabric?
Well, now half of it that was in the sun when I took my digital thermometer out there, and when it's like the ground is 120 degrees,
Right.
the fabric was still 85 degrees.
Nice. Okay.
And we didn't bury the container either. It was just sitting out too, but it was in the
Yeah.
shade, so just
And
the
you don't
water
think
moving.
getting more light on that's gonna hurt that?
No, if the person that I learned this from was in Arizona, and he had his out on his patio. It wasn't in a yard, and up against a stone wall and out in the sun.
Okay.
So that was doing pretty good. But it's something everyone just has to kind of experiment with. Like
Yeah.
me, I put mine up. It started growing like gangbusters, and
Yeah.
like I said, and then the top was growing really good. And I could just like harvest the top, and then the next row would be if you want to do it kind of like in succession. But this channel, I'm trying to show people different ways to grow. So I figured I'd take it down and use that structure to, I'm going to put the milk jugs back up and do something else, and just try different things. But the other one we've got set up that's kind of natural, and it's got all the tadpoles and everything in it. We're leaving that one up just to see how long it goes. There's a couple of peppers on it, and hopefully when it cools down, if it's still running and working, tomatoes, we might have a couple of tomatoes, but the herbs and oregano and stuff are just like going wild in it. So we're just going to let that one run.
Yeah. Now I noticed Dan had said, how is your irrigation system set up? I know Dan's was, I think, like a drip system in each individual space. Is that right?
Yeah, that's how I had mine. Troy Time the Living Wall is amazing. I'm going to make one. Yeah, cool. That's how I have mine. Did you set yours up the same way, Sam, with like one in each one?
Yeah, we have one little hose going in each one.
Yeah.
It's a bit too heavy duty for what we need flowing into the living wall, though. We can't grow anything in the top layer because it just kicks all the pebbles out with all of the water.
Oh,
So
you got, yeah, good
got
pump.
water pressure some, um, so that we can actually grow something on that top layer because yeah, we can't.
Yeah, the one that we had that was kind of organic, and we kept trying different organic nutrients in it. It breaks down like really fast, and like the Master Blend, uh, General Hydroponics, and Max Grow, and all that, it kind of dissolves and it keeps flowing through those. But the organic stuff just starts to clog everything up. I had like little drippers where it was dripping in each one, so it
Yeah.
wasn't shooting. But the organic stuff would like every single day clog them up, and I have to go through and pull them off, clean them off. It was getting to be a pain, especially when it's close to 100 degrees outside. And so I just did like what you said. I pulled those off and just had the hose going in, and the pump just shooting it in there. But I'll have to get a timer on it. Right now we're running it. It's just on 24 hours a day because Keely hooked her pond up to it with her fish, and I had it going on and off. And she's like, I don't turn the filter out on my fish, so I've got to go get a different electrical and hook stuff up in that. But yeah, it's a oh, what was that?
Just goes straight through all the time.
Yeah, okay. And it's all just experimenting in that too. Like I said, so it's we put one together, and it's all awesome that it's something. I don't know if everybody really appreciates just like how lucky we are, like the day and age we're in. I know that a lot of people are complaining, and the economy's bad and inflation and blah 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 and all that. But you think back like years ago, it was tough to get anything. You know, if there wasn't even, if you, I don't know how old y'all are, but you know, there wasn't even Walmart or anything around, right?
Right.
And if you want anything
There's still not a
special,
Walmart around me. That's an hour and a half away. I got an Amish guy down the road.
you'll get a Walmart sooner or later, or Dollar General or something.
Oh, we got two DGs. Yeah, we got the
Or
dollar stores
yeah, they
everywhere.
pop
We're
up in the,
rural.
yeah, that's where I was out in the middle of nowhere, and we had our Dollar General. We're
Still got a
always
dollar
in
store.
there. Yeah.
But yeah, you couldn't get this stuff.
Yeah, and for us to like just order, like go on Amazon and order, and like in 2 days or something, you know, it's at your doorstep. And for like me, when I saw him doing the grow bag, I said, "Oh, that's cool. Let me go look." You know, I search on there, all these grow bags come popping up, and you go to pick which one and that, and nutrients. If I don't feel like ordering a big bulk, I get it from Morgan County Seeds. I can get a little small one from Amazon, and like in a couple days. Most of the time, you know, some if it's third party, it's going to take a while, but just all the things, you know, I was getting pumps, all the irrigation fittings. If I couldn't find a Home Depot, you know, I'd look on there and somebody would be selling something somewhere. So, you know, it's pretty cool that we're able to do a lot more. You know, it might be a little tough, and that's why we're growing our food, is because the economy, you know, if it's bad, you know, and inflation, you know, always helps to grow some of your own food and that. And but I want to hear from both of y'all real quick. I'm going to have a little giveaway in that, but your seeds, because everybody's always they see all the stuff that I'm growing and that, and saying seeds are expensive. You know, how do you find that cost effective? You know, if you're trying to like save money in that, are seeds expensive for you, or what do you do? What's your opinion on the cost of seeds?
So for my microgreens, then, I mean, obviously I'm not growing out to harvest seeds from the microgreens, although I probably could. Those I
Do it.
honestly order on Amazon, but like my in-ground seeds, I grow most of mine out and harvest my own seeds. And then I also do big seed swaps. There's a
Mm-hmm.
program, and they have these big like 200 package seed swaps where you send in 200 packages of seeds, you get 200 back.
Nice.
And awesome, and they're cheap. Like I think you pay $12 to do it, and then you know I just baggy up a whole bunch of seeds. We grow a lot of loofah, and we grow a lot of marigold, so I've always got those types of seeds. And I'm trying to do anything that's different as well. Like I did pink dandelion,
Oh,
which
cool.
are awesome, and I just threw them everywhere. And so, like, why are there pink dandelions all over the lawn? Um, but I bagged up a bunch of them and sent them all in, and then I just get all of those seeds back, and so then I'll try and grow whatever people have sent me that way. So I'm always just growing a variety of different things and then saving my own seeds. So I don't buy a whole lot of seeds. I mean, I buy what I like. If I'm at Home Depot clothes, and I'll go buy the seed department. You know, I'm always gonna pick something up, but it's not normally those are the flowers and things like that.
Right.
I need to find one of those seed swap programs. That sounds awesome.
Go on
Yeah.
and you've got frugal seed swap, and then they normally do them a couple times a year. I can't remember all of them, but they're a lot of fun.
That's cool. I do bulk seed orders. I order them in 5 pound bags. I haven't had good experiences with the bulk companies. My peas were coming through with weevils in them, and um, it happened several times. So I like the smaller companies, but I'm just doing it in bulk. When you get your greens trays and stuff, that's kind of a one-time purchase. So your biggest expense is your seeds, and
Yeah.
just getting those seeds clean. And I don't want just any seed can be a microgreen, absolutely. But if I'm selling them to a customer, I want them to be clean, and I don't want them to be treated with anything, and I don't want them to be, right? You want them to be nice. So I'm willing to pay a little bit more so that I know that I'm getting nice, clean seeds. But you go through a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, you do go through a lot of them, but that's why, you know, I do some 5 pound, but a lot of like 1 pound bags. But
Hmm.
stuff like radish is like pretty cheap. You know, it's one of the cheap. That's why I said everyone should start with radishes. See, just like traditional gardens, they say, you know, grow radishes like in 45 days, you know, it's ready. But I think this, you know, less than $20 or something. But this does several. You know, I grow like little 5x5 trays.
Yeah.
And just like if you go in the store and you buy like a little pint container, half a pint or whatever, those are like $6, $7, $8 in the
Yeah.
grocery store. So you can get, you know, several of those, like 20 of them out of a bag. So you're talking, you know, there's like no cost comparison. Once you bite the bullet and you do order it bulk, and then you see how much you do. But I think that a lot of people get excited and they see all the different stuff. It's like going in the grocery store for the first time, and like a new store opens up and you see all the different produce and you want to grab one of this, one of this, one of this, or at the farmer's
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
And when you go to get seeds, you want to get a variety. And then if you're talking about $20 here, $30 here, 20, it does add up. But what I would do is 2 or 3, you know, to start.
Yeah.
Get it in bulk. You don't need a pound. I think you can do a quarter pound, like 4 ounce.
Yeah.
Some of them do like a half a pound. And the more you can buy, just like everything else, the cheaper the price. And then you have a
Yeah.
little bit of wiggle room to kind of play. A lot of people fail is because they go up to Home Depot or Lowe's and they go buy a seed packet for $3 or $5. And, you know, and that doesn't even make a partial tray of microgreens.
Right.
And so they'll kind of sprout and all be falling over and mildew and everything. And they'll say it doesn't work and just give up. So yeah, if anyone, you know, hasn't started yet, you know, bite the bullet, pick 1 or 2, you know, just to start and get something a little bit bigger than they get, at least 4 ounces, maybe half a pound. If it's something cheap, like the radish or some varieties of pak choy, broccoli, I'd get those and just grow some where you can do a couple of experiments. And if something doesn't turn out right and, you know, you're not, you know, like that was my only tray of, you know, microgreens.
Yeah.
And then once
I
you get the
still have,
hang of it, you'll really want. Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
Nah.
still have trays that go to trash. I mean, it happens quick. Their life is 7-10 days at the most. So it's easy to get discouraged with it when you walk in your grow room and it smells like a swamp. Like, what happened? It happens, and it happens fast. But just keep going. Especially seeds like
Mhm.
broccoli and those smaller seeds, they're going to let off a mucus kind of a film while they're
Yeah.
germinating. So it's super easy to swamp those little seeds out, and before you know it, you have a mess. But just keep trying.
Yeah. Yeah. And real
I,
quick, did you see that question? I'm sorry, Sam.
I
Go
was gonna
ahead.
say that buying the seeds, like, I mean, I'll buy them on Amazon, because you know all the all the big sellers that grow on selling them on there anyway. I found that if I bought like a 1 pound package once a month of something different, so 1 month I might buy broccoli, 1 month I
Hmm.
might buy radish, 1 month I might buy clover, another month I might buy some lettuce or some mustard or something, and I'm buying them every month. Well, within 5 or 6 months, you've got enough seeds now that you've got a great variety of all different seeds that you,
Yeah.
especially
Yep.
like for me, I mean, I'm growing them in the small glass bowls or I'm growing them in my living wall. And so I'm not growing a whole lot at one time.
Yeah. Well, that's why I started the continuous harvest system. I started with just microgreens, and then, like I said, you all of a sudden you can't get to them all because you're excited and you're planting all this stuff. And then I take those and I started pulling them out and putting them into the bigger containers in the downspouts and then growing those out. So I pull them out and plant them like dense, and then that way they can grow to baby greens. I think that's what some people make a mistake is they pull them out and put like one in each, you know, like little hole, and hope to grow a whole plant out of each one. What I do is I plant it dense, go through and harvest baby greens whenever we want, and maybe leave, you know, then you're thinning out and maybe leave 1 or 2 in each one, whichever the best one is, just like you're doing in traditional ground, except this way we're eating the stuff, you know, and
Yeah.
when you're thinning your plants on the ground, you're usually just cutting it, letting them chop and drop. But then that way, some of your greens can continue to grow. You're getting microgreens. You harvest some of that, let some of those continue to grow, and then you plant microgreens again, so that once you harvest those, it just goes over and over, and then you're not just, you know, just eating plain microgreens all the time.
Yeah.
Um, Tracy, I don't know if you answered that question or whatever she had asked a
Yeah,
while ago.
I definitely want to answer that question because this is absolute that's now I can't even talk to answer your question. This is what I was talking about. Get your grow kits, and once you're done fruiting them on your counter, the question is if the kids have one of the mushroom grow kits from Home Depot or like Back to the Roots, can they reuse it? Kind of like Starbucks spent coffee grounds is their way. Yes, there's definitely a way. That mycelium's still alive. That mushroom is still alive. You can get on YouTube, look up different at-home grows, but it just takes a little bit of wet straw and a laundry basket with some holes in it, kind of make some layers out of that wet straw and then grind with your hand, just kind of mash up that block, that spent block that you've fruited 2 or 3 times. Put layers of that in between that wet straw, keep it nice and damp and in some shade, and you can totally grow more mushrooms. That's still alive just because the block is spent and the nutrition in that block is gone. They can keep going. You can grind it up and put it right in your compost pile. If nothing else, it's going to compost really nicely and add that extra boost to your compost pile. But my core mediation is a very big thing. Fungus and mycelium have the capability to clean up toxins in our soil, pollutants in our atmosphere. So taking those blocks outside and putting those mushrooms outside is great. Do your research. I mean, you need to be responsible, just like anything else. There's invasive species, just like plants. So, for example, a golden oyster mushroom is going to completely inhabit any hardwood it comes in contact with, and it will dominate other native fungus in the area. And before you know it, you only have golden oysters. So something like that we never put outside. But yes, take those blocks outside. Don't just throw them in the trash. They can totally be reused, either right
Cool.
in the ground or make a basket out of them.
That's neat. Like I said, I'm gonna have to try that.
YouTube will be your friend. That's where we learn to do everything, right? My husband has an
Yeah.
apron. I know how to do this. I saw a YouTube video.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I came on YouTube for back before I had a channel back 7 years ago, is just, if I needed to fix something. That's all I thought YouTube was, before cat videos and everything started popping up. But it was, how do I fix
How
this
to.
faucet, or how do I do this? Yeah. So let me go ahead and do a quick giveaway. And Virginia, is that you that's in the chat? I think you popped in here and I didn't see you. So I know we're getting close to an hour, but like when I come on tomorrow or next week and that, go ahead and jump back in and I'll make sure to get you on there. I was running my mouth. I think she popped in the back room. And when I looked back down, she was gone. So I'm going to do a quick giveaway here. I don't know if you guys have seen how to do this. Can y'all see that on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let's choose a live stream. This one. And then I'm going to put, let's see, hashtag seeds. We'll try that. Okay, if everybody who wants to be in a drawing for the seeds, just put hashtag seeds. Here, I'll do it like over here. If I win, I'll just spin again. And are you guys in the chat too? Tracy and Sam?
I don't know. I'm on my cell phone. I'm just trying to hold it still.
Or you're not? I'll send y'all like a sample of seeds and that. We'll do it through the group or whatever. I just get your addresses. And let me see. I'm gonna start collecting names in just a second. Let me give everyone a second to put hashtag seeds. And what we're gonna do is I'll do like 4 little samples. This will get about, depends on what size tray, like a 10-20 tray. That'd do like a 10-20 tray, but I grow little 5x5s. And so, I only use about a teaspoon, so that'd get about 3 or 4. But I'll give you about 4 of these. And these are from Greener Harvest Seeds. And if you guys have seen Josh Shaver, if you guys have seen his channel on TikTok and I think Instagram, he's Bagel Finagle. But he's a pretty cool guy. He started, I don't know if any of you were here last night, but I was saying a little bit about him during lockdown. I think he had saved up some money. He put like $4,000 into business, kind of like what Tracy's doing, and started a business, Microgreens. So he's been running a business ever since then. And his wife started a seed company, so they buy in bulk on that too, and they sell seeds. So it's a pretty cool little company. It's called Greener Harvest Seeds, and he's a real cool guy. But okay, everybody did it. Good luck, everyone. So I'm gonna go over here and put start collecting names. And we'll see how many. So 19. All right, last call I'm gonna hit. Carol, the hobby quilt. And you guys should see little names popping up here. Like I said, if I went, okay, 20, ready? 3, 2, 1. And Carol Burns is the winner. All right, Carol, let me see. I've been using this for a while. I think I've got my Gmail. There we go. Go ahead and email me down here and say, I'm Carol. I won the seeds. And not everybody do this. All right. This is like the honor system here. I want it to be from Carol. And email me, and I'll get your address and that and ship that out to you. So congrats, Carol. And let me get this off the screen. All right. And I'll let you guys kind of give a little last word in that. We're going on like an hour here and just kind of wrap up. It's nice to meet you. I haven't met you all before. And I'm really interested. I'd like to have you, if you're in the group, and I drop the links anytime you want to pop in, and you don't have to be here for the whole show. If you want to pop in for 10 minutes and just say, hey, and Tracy, if you want to show them one of your mushrooms or something, or if you guys take your camera out to your living wall or whatever, if you just want to show somebody or talk or have a question or whatever, this is just going to be a place where we can all just come and chit chat and have fun and that. And especially like right now, it's not too fun being out in the garden with it being 100 degrees. So, it's a little bit, it's kind of fun just getting to chat with people and see what we got planned and what's coming up and what people are working on. And I'm really excited because I didn't think too many people are doing too much of anything, to hear, what you two guys have got going. And then also the Facebook group, I see a lot of people in there, growing. They've got some living walls, put up and the bucket tower and things like that. So we appreciate it. And you guys help out, other people too. I know you said you're giving food away, and Tracy, you are too. So this is all part of the Keep on Growing. Everybody learns how to grow food and share and make the world a better place. But let me go ahead and Sam, if you got anything to kind of quickly say before we go.
I was gonna say just start. If you're not growing stuff, just start. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Sorry, Tracy. I was waiting for you to pop back in. I forgot I had to do it.
I'm on my cell phone. I'm coming and going, popping in and out. No, I agree, Sam. Sam's totally right. Just start. Just do it. Just grow something.
Yeah, you'll get addicted. Before you know it, you'll be ordering pounds of seed and that too, and growing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So and if y'all come back on and other people, Troy, I want you to jump on here sometime and everyone, and just let people know, that it's possible, and especially like you, if you're starting a business, it's possible. It's more self-sustaining, and you get a wide variety. There's all kinds of stuff. This is like experience and like new things. And if you just go get a pound of something for $20, you're experiencing something for $20 that you can't get like in any store or something. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And if you try it and it doesn't work the first time, that doesn't mean that you're not good at it or you can't do it. Try again. Try
Right.
something different. Variety's the spice of life. So try something.
Exactly.
Keep trying.
Right. That's good advice from both y'all, because it's so many people I hear, they're like the first time they're trying, and then they're sending me messages and, oh, this happened and this, and I can't do it. And, and all these, and then I said, well, how many times did you do it? And they were like twice or something, or
Just that one.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I'm
Just
like,
that one time.
yeah, before I even came on YouTube, you can't believe how many, I went through before. So it's a little bit of a process. It's easy, but it's all part of the learning. Every time you fail, you're just finding another way not to do it. And sooner or later, you're just going to find the right ways to do everything. And then it's like riding a bike.
Yeah, and what works for me might not work for Sam, might not work for you. We all have our own unique thing that we bring to it. We have I'm pretty crunchy. We all have our own frequency, right? We all put different things into our into our ground, into our seeds. Native American culture has you put your seed under your tongue, and it's actually reading your DNA, knowing what you need from that seed, and capable of growing. I'm iron deficient, so maybe my seeds would grow higher iron in my spinach or in my greens. That's how the connection with our food should be, and getting back to that's just going to heal your mind and your body.
Yep, totally agree. Alrighty, thank you. Let's see, thank you, ladies, and thank you everybody for popping in here. Thank you, Sam, Tracy.
I had a real good time. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, nice meeting y'all too. Like I said, I see, over the internet and everything, we always just see each other. We're just avatars and all that. And so it's nice to finally talk to some of y'all.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Good night, everybody. And that was Carol, right? That won. Congratulations to Carol. And we'll see you about the same time tomorrow if anybody wants to pop on. If not, like I said, we're going to be getting a lot more other stuff ready. We're going to be doing demonstrations and maybe trivia or just all kinds of fun stuff. But tomorrow we're just going to pop on and just talk on that too. So thank you. Well, good night to y'all, and thank you. And good night, everybody. Live to inspire, keep on growing, and be the change. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.